Hey there, everybody. This is Steve here with you all again with another movie review. I hope you enjoyed the ones I did before of Grease and the 1989 Batman movie. So I figure I'd move on to another one. One of my favorite 90s films growing up back in the day that I love watching. A lot of funny scenes and stuff, and a great actor in the movie, another pretty good one as well. The movie is none other than Dumb and Dumber. This is a movie that is about two guys. The film starts with Jim Carrey asking this lady from Austria for directions like to some place in this limousine. He winds up just saying to her, saying, let's put another shrimp on the barbie. But she goes, like, let's not. And yeah. So that's when the beginning starts and you hear the song of it. The song is called Boom Shakalak. I used to have the soundtrack to the movie, but I don't anymore because the problem with the soundtrack, it was missing a lot of songs from it. I will get to that in a sec, but let's just continue with the movie. So, and the guy who sings that name is Apache Indian. Yeah. Funny song and not really too bad of a song, though. So then Jeff Daniels is introduced as the next guy. He's like this guy in a dog suit, and then he's got this van that's like a dog as well, and they're called Mutt Cuts. Apparently, it's his own business that he has where he said he bathes them and clips them himself. Now, Jim Carrey, he plays the character Lloyd Christmas, and he is at this house to pick up this person, this woman that he falls in love with immediately. And she is played by Lauren Holly, who used to be married to Jim Carrey, but not for very long, though. So he has taken her to the airport, and she drops off a suitcase there, or a briefcase, and he thinks that it's probably her luggage and thinks that supposedly that he's going to try and bring it back to her. But there were two people in there that were going to take the briefcase, but instead he took it. So we're now into like a scene where he's like trying to get to the plane, and then there's the thing where they get on it, what they call that thing exactly, and then he just winds up falling off the jetway, he calls it, and it's so funny because how he just falls right out of it, like right on his back, and just laying there going, eh, eh. Now Harry and Lloyd return to their place, and I forgot to mention Jeff Daniels' character name is Harry Dunn, not Dumb, D-U-N-N, I think. Now, the two people who were supposed to take the briefcase find them at their place that they're at, and Lloyd is telling them that the gift, it wasn't really a gift, the suitcase, it was something that belonged to the woman named Mary Swanson. So they wind up holding on to it, but the two arrive at the place and see that they're not there. So as Lloyd is out like getting stuff, he is robbed by a sweet old lady on a motorized cart, as he says, when he accidentally leaves his wallet into this paper thing, and yeah. So now, as he's home, they have no money and no job, so he figures that he and Harry drive up and go to Aspen, Colorado, where Mary is, and return her briefcase. So Harry declines at first, but then they get into a discussion and just figure out that they'll just do it anyway. So they all head to Aspen, and now they make a stop at this place, which is a some kind of restaurant place or a little stop at a truck stop, and they encounter a guy where Harry winds up spilling the salt, and Lloyd says to him, toss some salt on your right shoulder because it's a bad luck thing. But instead, it hits a man, and he's angry to find out about it, and just saying to like, all right, who's the dead man who hit me with the salt shaker? But Lloyd is pointing to him and just tells him he didn't mean it. So he looks at his burger because both of them got burgers, and he just says to him, "You gonna eat that?" And he's like, "What, that? No, well, oh, I crossed my mind, yeah." And just so he doesn't hurt him, he spits on his burger. they don't really show the scene of him doing that. It just makes a sound effect when he does that. Yeah. So now Lloyd just figures that they get him some beers, bury the hatchet, as he says, just let things go. So instead, he goes to the counter and just says that Seabass, the guy, says that he's going to pay for their meal. That winds up being a lie, of course. So they wind up getting away from the place. And now they're on the road now back to Aspen where they're going. And Lloyd has to go to the bathroom and pee, but there's like empty beer bottles where Harry suggested he go into, and now they're pulled over by a police officer in the state of Pennsylvania where they are, because they're going from Rhode Island, I think. So he sees the liquor bottle and tells him, that it's against the law to have an open alcohol thing in the state of Pennsylvania. So he gives him the bottle, and he's about to drink it, but they don't want him to, so he does anyway, and unknowing that he does not know that it's urine. So they go away, and now we get to Mary, who is in her home in Aspen, and finds out that the two did not receive the briefcase that she left for them. Apparently, that they were supposed to take the briefcase, but unknowingly, Lloyd does not know about it. So now, as Lloyd is having a dream about Mary and stuff, and we heard the song that is played, it is "The Rain, the Park, the Other Things" by the Cowsills. I don't think that song is on the soundtrack. I could be right or I could be wrong. I don't know, but I think I'm wrong, but I'm not too sure. So now Harry and Lloyd are at this place, which is a kind of hotel place, or like for a husband and wife kind of place, but and they're telling stories and stuff about this girl that Harry used to like, and found out she was seeing another guy, but never found out who. Now, as they're back on the road the next day, they are encountered by the guy who was supposed to take the briefcase with the woman. His name is Joe, and his assistant name is Shay, supposedly. And he encounters a ride with them because he thinks that they're trying to take the money and stuff. So he figures that he's going to try and, take them out and not going to let them go anywhere. So they're at this place to get lunch, and they encounter these atomic peppers, which the boys try, and they're very, very spicy. But the guy cannot have them because he has gas and takes pills. So, as he comes back in, unknowingly, Harry and Lloyd put them on his burger, and that's when he eats them, and he needs his pills, but they wind up giving him the wrong pills. It was rat poison. So now, as they are back on the road again, they are heading now to, of course, to Aspen again, and they're at this truck stop again to get gas. And as Lloyd is in the bathroom, he sees a little writing on the wall, and it says, "Want to encounter like true love," or something, like at 2:30 a.m., something like that, be here at that time. So he looks at it and looks at his watch, and it is exactly 2:30, and the door opens in the bathroom, and unknowingly has no idea who it is. And as he is waiting to see who it is, the person encounters it, comes to the door and trying to open it, and breaks it open, and it's Seabass, the guy from before. And as he's getting ready to supposedly hurt Lloyd, Harry, who is talking with a woman, accidentally lights his leg on fire from a match because he had gasoline all over him from pumping when he was talking with the lady. So Harry goes into the bathroom, knocks out the guy, and gets the fire put out. Now they are back on the road again. And as they are at this stop, Lloyd now is driving while Harry sleeps. And next song is playing. It is by the Primitives. That's called Crash. A little 90s song, or maybe 80s song, maybe. Not really too bad of a song. Now, as they're heading to the next stop to wherever they are now, they are going through this turn. Well, Lloyd winds up taking the wrong turn that says Nebraska, supposedly somewhere. And they just... One sec, just answering a text. So it just winds up being the wrong turn once again, as I said. And Harry is mad because of the fact that they took the wrong turns. So now they have no money and stuff and nothing to do. So Harry just decides that he's going to walk home. But instead, Lloyd comes down the road with a little motorbike and finds out that he traded the van with the kid for it. So they still have a chance to travel to Aspen with that. So now they're on their way again, and they arrive to Aspen. Now they're in Aspen. They have no idea what Mary's name is, so they have to look it up in the phone book. And no, he starts and he says it starts with an S, but cannot figure out what it is. And he says Swanson. He says to him, "Is it on the briefcase?" And reads it and says, "Oh yeah, it's right here, Samsonite." I was way off. I knew it started with an S though. I'm not seeing it here, Lloyd. She must be unlisted. So they have no idea where Mary is, so now they are in this little place with this fire to stay warm and stuff because it is freezing cold. So Lloyd decides to give him the extra pair of gloves, but unknowingly had no idea that he had extra gloves the whole time. So as Harry is ready to beat the crap out of Lloyd, as they're on this picnic table, the briefcase winds up going flying, and it opens up, and they find out that it has money in it, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, something like that. So now they have money, and now they decide to, as Lloyd says, borrow a few loans from the briefcase, something like that. So instead, they go to this big, huge hotel and stay there and stuff, and get this brand new car, this Lamborghini car. And now, as they are reading the paper in their room, they find out that there's like a party, and Mary Swanson will be there. So they are now ready to getting ready and stuff, and they had the song "Pretty Woman" playing by Roy Orbison, another song as well as cut from the soundtrack. And now they have these orange and blue suits on and stuff, and they encounter the man that is like in this movie. His name is Charles Rocket. He plays this character in the movie, and Shay cannot believe that it's them. You know, the guys who whack Mental, the guy Joe Mental. So, as they're at the place, they encounter Mary Swanson, but Lloyd tells Harry to go over there and introduce himself to Mary, so he does, and he says to him that he got him a date with her tomorrow at some kind of place. So now, as when we go to the next day, Harry is now at this place with Mary to meet her, while Lloyd is going to this bar to supposedly meet her at like 10 in the morning. So Harry and Mary are now on this little ride, this little thing, and Harry's tongue winds up getting stuck to the pole on the thing. Yeah, another like funny scene is his tongue is like so stuck on there, and she tries to get him off of it and keeps pulling him, and then that's when it finally gets him loose. So now, as Lloyd is still at the bar waiting for Mary, and she is still not there, so he still waiting while Harry and Mary are doing things together and building a snowman and stuff. Yeah. I'm just like getting up on Wikipedia so I can, here it is. So at the gala, Harry, attempting to lure Mary over to Lloyd, reluctantly agrees to go skiing with her the next day and lies to Lloyd that he got him a date. So the next day, Lloyd finds out Harry lied to him after waiting all day for Mary at the hotel bar. In retaliation, Lloyd pranks Harry with a coffee spike with laxatives, or as it says in the movie, Turbo Lax, leading to him to poop in this toilet, and which was one of the most funniest scenes in there if you ever see it, because when he's going to the bathroom, you hear it going in there, and he's like in pain so much and all that, which is really funny. Yeah. But she tells him that the toilet is broken and does not flush. So now, then Lloyd then arrives at Mary's house and informs her that he has her briefcase, and takes her to the hotel and shows her the briefcase, confesses his love after some initial struggle, but is rejected somehow. And Nicholas Andre, the character played by Charles Rocket, who's an old friend of Swanson's and the mastermind behind Bobby's kidnapping, who is Mary's husband, as you know, arrives with Shay, and upon learning most of the ransom money has been spent by Harry and Lloyd and replaced with IOUs, takes Lloyd and Mary hostage, as well as Harry when he returns. Before Nicholas can kill them, an FBI team raids this suit and arrests him and Shay. After the incident, Mary and Bobby are reunited, much to Lloyd's jealousy. Yeah, funny scene when they're on the bed and stuff with Mary, and she's when Harry and Lloyd are like arguing and stuff, and Lloyd is like, maybe our friendship isn't worth a damn. Maybe we should call it quits right now. And he says, maybe. And he says, you just tell me where to sign, bud. And he said, right on my ass after you kiss it. Kiss it. You kiss mine. Both cheeks, both lips, right here. But in the edited scene, like on TBS or the Superstation used to call it, it used to be, they would replace it and it would be right on my sandwich after you kiss it, you know, because ass is not a clean word. That's the way they gotta do it sometimes. So now, after that, the next day, Harry and Lloyd begin walking home, all the way from Aspen to their home in Rhode Island. All the items they bought were confiscated, and their moped has broken down. The two unknowingly declined the chance to be oil boys for a group of bikini girls, after which Harry ironically tells Lloyd that they will get their break one day. Harry and Lloyd then play a friendly game of tag as they continue to walk back home. Maybe not really one of the best endings for some people, you know, but it still is a funny movie. I think it got like 2.5 stars out of 4, I think. Don't really know exactly. I probably would have given it 3 just because it's funny and stuff and got a pretty funny story. Yeah. And there you go. I mean, that's pretty much the movie. Jim Carrey as Lloyd Christmas, Jeff Daniels as Harry Dunn, Lauren Holly as Mary Swanson, Karen Duffy as J.P. Shay, the female woman. She sounds familiar, though, Karen Duffy. Really does. Doesn't really show, like, a whole lot of info on her that much, but, yeah. But I remember seeing this movie before. I mean, I do have it on VHS, not on DVD, but I have it on Blu-ray, and they call it the unrated version. Yeah, and the unrated version, it's okay and stuff, but the problem is with it, some of it is, you know, kind of gross and stuff. And probably if it would have included that stuff, it may have been rated R instead of PG-13. But I may be wrong about that. And here's like stuff in the soundtrack, as I said. Now, the omissions, as they call it, the song "The Rain in the Park" and other things by the Cowsills was not on the soundtrack, although it was played quite prominently in the montage of Lloyd fantasizing about Mary. Nor was "Oh Pretty Woman" by Roy Orbison, that was featured in the makeover montage. Also missing are "Can We Still Be Friends" by Todd Rundgren, who also wrote the original soundtrack, "Rolling Down the Hill" by the Rembrandts, by the Crash Test Dummies, Red Right Hand by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Yeah, that scene when and earlier when Lloyd is like robbing that sweet old lady on the motorized cart, as he calls it. "Boom Shakalot" by Apache Indian, and "Make Love Now" by Patrick Wilson. 2 Feet Zero Butt Crack Better by Bruce Greenwood, who was also omitted from the soundtrack and was erroneously credited by the band Circle the Wagon in the film's credits. And the song "Go Your Own Way" by Fleetwood Mac was featured in the television edit of the film. Now, although the film did not secure any major American Film Awards, it was successful at the 1995 MTV Movie Awards. Carey won the Best Comic Performance. Karen and Holly, a couple who would later endure a short-lived marriage, as I said, won for Best Kiss, and Carey and Daniels were nominated for Best On-Screen Duo. In 2000, readers of Total Film magazine voted Dumb and Dumber the 5th greatest comedy film of all time. The film ranks 445th on Empire Magazine's 2008 list of the 500 greatest movies of all time. I mean, there was really nothing bad about it. I mean, it was not a stupid movie or anything. It's funny. I mean, it's dumb, but as they call it, but it's a dumb funny, if you want to call it like that, I guess. Now, as I said about the they do have deleted scenes as well, and the unrated version, as I said. In the unrated version, as I mentioned about the guy spitting on Harry's burger, in the unrated scene, it shows the spit coming onto the burger, and he just winds up taking the burger from Harry, pretty much. There's also another scene with Harry and Lloyd and Seabass in the bathroom. Supposedly, the guy Seabass set it up, and I could not believe that it was him. So instead, he says he's going to rape Lloyd, and Lloyd is saying, find a happy place, and he just pulls down his pants and says, I'll show you a happy place, and that was cut from the movie, and that's why I say that probably the movie would have been rated R, maybe. And there was another couple scenes as well, like Lloyd talking about Harry's suit that he was wearing, like on in the snow and stuff, like his snowsuit, pretty much. And a couple other scenes as well that are like deleted scenes. Like I said, I do own that on Blu-ray, and I have the regular version on VHS. Now, if you have not seen this movie, I highly recommend it because why? It's funny. Jim Carrey is a very hilarious actor. He's great. He's done a lot of good movies, and of course, he's from the show In Living Color, as you remember, and many other ones that he did. So if you have not seen this movie, please check it out. And more people I forgot to mention in the movie. Terry Garr is Helen Swanson, who is Mary's stepmother. Victoria Rowell has Beth Jordan, the athletic beauty, as they call it, but is an FBI agent and trying to get to ask me to move away from her boyfriend, as she says. Cam Neely as Seabass, who is the trucker, the guy, and he was also a former hockey player. Yep. He played right wing for the Vancouver Canucks and Boston Bruins of the NHL from 1983 to 1996. Pretty good career. And was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2005 and currently serves as the president of the Boston Bruins. Good for him. Joe Baker as Bernard. Don't know exactly who. Lynn Shay as Miss Newborn. I remember her from a couple other movies. Harlan Williams as Pennsylvania State Trooper, the police officer. Brady Bloom or whatever as Billy, the blind kid. Yep. And a couple other people too that are in it, but just not really too sure of the rest of them. And that's pretty much it. So that'll probably wrap it up for this movie review of Dumb and Dumber. Hope you all enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, please. And I will see you all in more videos. You all take care.